It's time for System of a Down Chop Suey adapted for the lone acoustic guitarist. But before anyone goes running off ordering Chinese takeout, I'd like to take just a moment to thank the following people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club. Special thank you to Buddy David, Harry Parsley, I love parsley, Jurian, and Jason Lettinen. Thank you very, very, very much for your support. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, you will find the link in the description. For the intro and the chorus, you're simply going to play capo 3, by the way, E minor, A minor, D, and C. But I want to point out two things. The first one is that D chord with capo 3 might be a little too free-fallen for chop suey, so you may consider D with an F sharp in the bass, aka the better man chord, E2, G2, B3, and now it's going to sound like this. That's the one I'm going to choose. And thinking about how those chords relate to the intro riff, you know this one. There's no disputing that it's an A minor chord that's happening on that second one, but the thing that we may want to address is that this note, the low one from that part of the riff, relative to the capo, is an F sharp note. So if you want to be super impress your neighbors about it, you'll play this chord, A minor 6, with an F sharp in the bass, and I think you'll find that this sounds just right. You're going to play A minor with the wrong finger so that your middle finger is available for the E string 2nd fret. Sounds just like the song, right? So now we have E minor, A minor 6 with an F sharp in the bass, D with an F sharp in the bass, C. And that's kind of a tricky chord to just land, right? So I'm thinking from E minor, what's going to happen is my ring finger's going to stay right where it is. My pinky's going down, pointer's going down, and middle finger's going up one, rather than just try to get to that, which I don't know who can, but it's not me. Into the fast part. At which point we encounter yet another quandary. The first chord is going to be E minor, just frantic ups and downs, downs and ups. And the next chord wants to be the same chord but 1 fret lower, and the problem is we don't have 1 fret lower. So in order to invoke the note that's 1 fret lower than the fret that we don't have, I'm going to take my E minor chord and I'm going to turn it into E minor major 7. No, I did not just have a stroke, that's what it's called. Your D string is going down 1 fret to the 1st fret, and that's it. Listen to this incredible chord. So it's going to be E minor major 7, G, and regular A minor. Into the verse, which consists of just E minor and the chord that we can't play. So you just get to go nuts on E minor and E minor major 7. Wanted to. They will, needless to say, they will not be recruiting me to sing in their band. And now you already know the chorus because it's the same as the intro. It's the E minor, A minor with the F sharp if you want, D with the F sharp, and C. But here's some bonus runs you may want to incorporate in the C chord. The first one is when he sings Self-Righteous Suicide. Strum your C chord, but be very careful that the B string is the last string you strum. Then the B string is going to go 1, open, G2 with the middle finger, open, back to 2, and then back into E minor for the repeat. So it'll be... And the second one is going to be When Angels Deserve to Die. You're going to strum your C chord, but only to the G string because we want to hear G open, D4, 2, open, 2, E minor. that one's gonna be... that one's gonna be the... I'm definitely not joining the band. This one's gonna be... Now I'll do the chorus with both those runs for you. Pieces, so of course go use your earballs and figure out which one goes where when, but I can't say E minor major 7 without explaining myself, which means that yes, it's time for another installment of
What's the Lesson Here, starring Miss Poopadoo.
Joining me. It's great to be back. Okay, let's check out this minor major 7 situation. Here's a normal E minor chord, the one we all know and love, and if we hunt through this and find out what notes it is, of course the open E string is E. That is the first note of the E minor scale. Then the A string second fret is A sharp, B. The fifth note of the E minor scale, followed by the D string, D sharp, another E, so nothing to declare, and then we've got the open G string, that is the third note of the E minor scale. That's what chords are made up of, the first note, the third note, and the fifth note from their scale. If we continue, we'll find another B and another E, so that's what makes up a normal E minor chord. But of course, we're not talking about just any normal E minor chord, we're talking about this kooky thing, and when we invoke the D string first fret, that of course is not a D note, it's not an E note, it's the note in between, it's D sharp, and looking at the E minor scale, there is no D sharp. And it's a really good thing we're not supposed to be looking at the E minor scale, we're supposed to be looking at the E major scale, which I've written out for you here. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, starting at E is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp is the seventh note of the major scale. This is a minor chord, but it has a major seventh in it, E minor major 7. Impress your friends at parties. What kind of parties you're going to. Of course, there's a scale that's associated with that really cool chord. Here's a normal E minor scale. O, 2, 3, O, 2, 3, O, 2. But we're not going to use the minor 7th D. We're going to use the D sharp. Listen to this. It's one of my favorites. O, 2, 3, O, 2, 3, 1, 2. Kind of Arabian Nights-y or something, right? That's all I can think to say about that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I'll see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.